So immediately what I'm feeling, Sagittarius, is in your past energy, you have the Ace of Pentacles. And a lot of times this is a brand new, fresh idea, something in the physical world, something has manifested into your physical space. This is like a seed that you have to water though. So some kind of new thought, some kind of new situation, maybe it's a brand new job. And with all of these coin cards, I would like to think that that's what it is. All four of your cards across the center here are coins. So that's some heavy physical world energy that you're dealing with this month. Just to kind of make a blanket statement for all of it is something has definitely changed in your space, whether it be health related, job related, home, like, remodeling or building or those types of things. But something new, there was a spark of something and it's been growing, and currently you're in the king version of this. So this card to me speaks very much of being smart with his money, making really wise long-term investment type decisions. This is being thrifty and mindful of how his physical world works. And this is also being very secure in your home space and your workspace. And what are you doing that brings you money? What are you doing that secures your physical space on this planet? So, and it's also can be your body, because of course that's your physical space on this body or on this earth. So it could have been you starting a new diet, or you starting a new workout regimen, or something that's really bringing you into your body. And this is a lot. I don't know if I've ever had this particular situation come up in a reading like this with this kind of spread. So, your challenge card is the Page. So this makes me consider that you're sitting here really secure, and the Page is more of the immature energy of him. The Page is just the starting out, the excitement, the fun, the active pursuit of you. So this may be implying that there's you're sitting here, and that's an amazing place to sit. However, you may be feeling that it's more work than enjoyable for you right now, because the Nine of Wands, I mean, he's working out. So this card definitely speaks of getting to a place where you may feel beat up. You may have gone through some uncomfortable things, but you are coming out victorious in this. And I believe in this card specifically, this deck, this image for this number, speaks of the amount of work that a bodybuilder has to do to be able to lift this kind of weight. They know they're going to be uncomfortable. They know there's going to be restrictions. They know it's going to be work, but they're doing it. And they've accomplished a lot. And on other cards, it's a person looking pretty beat up, but he's standing and everything's good. So I think this is, you're feeling, you may really be focused on the work side of this rather than getting to enjoy it all. So, that's not a bad place to be in, though. It's obviously benefiting you to some aspect, but that just may be something you really need to call attention to in the month of May. And we have the Eight of Swords here. So the Eight of Swords speaks of self-limiting thoughts And this is coming up in your strength. So I'm going to read this as you're really good at not talking badly to yourself. You're capable of being in control of these thought patterns in a way that they're not going to be damaging to yourself. So you may be feeling really secure and in a good space, and you have all this really strong earthly energy happening, and that's a beautiful strength to pull on this month of being kind to yourself, being kind to understanding the verbiage we use in our own heads, those things we say to ourselves about ourselves. I say that a lot in readings, but I think it's an extremely important component when it comes to understanding how the messages in the cards can be perceived within ourselves. And so how are you speaking to yourself? How do you think about yourself? How do you think about these situations that you have? And it's going to be very important to not fall down that rabbit hole of negative thought patterns and so forth, because you are making movement. However, the knight here in this suit, all the knights are talking about movement, but some of them move faster than the others, and the Knight of Coins is a slower moving energy. He's not in a big hurry to get to where he's going because he's focused on making really good choices that are going to be long lasting. So if you get in your head about stuff, or you're focused too much on the work, I got to make it happen now. Why haven't I accomplished what I want to accomplish, and all of those kind of thought patterns that can really bog you down over time. If you're able to pull in some of the actual enjoyment of your process, that's what I'm seeing here, because that is then followed by two cups. We have the King and the Knight, and this is the suggestion part of my spread here. So you are being told very blatantly to emotionally connect. So if you are so focused on just doing the work, you're missing some of the really important components of this, because you're not just followed by two cups. I fib to you. It's actually three, because we end down here on the 9. And so your suggested need to know about this situation this month in May is that you got to care about it, and care about it in a from my heart space, not just care about what it can do for me in my physical world. What can I gain from this? It's not that. It's really learning to appreciate it, learning to connect from your heart space, learning to have some fun in it, and allow your feelings to be involved in the situation. They are going to help propel you. The Knight of Cups moves faster than the Knight of Coins. So by joining that kind of energy, and not only am I the person that's willing to get in there and get stuff done, but I also am going to take the time to care about it, make sure it's done right, make sure it meets certain standards, make sure I feel good about whatever it is that I'm bringing into the world. I think that's extremely important here with the two cards that came out for that. So I'd be very mindful about how you feel when it comes to the situation. Because then we land on the 10 of Swords. And this is your hopes or fears. So I'm going to take this as a fear. You are fearful that it will end. You are fearful that you will lose. You're fearful that it is going to be over. I mean, this card is depicting someone dead. So this is really speaking to me that you're just so scared that if you let yourself feel or you concentrate on anything but the physical work, that it's going to fall apart and it's going to break down and you're going to lose it all and you're never going to end up where you want to be. I know that's a little specific, but for real. You are scared to death that this is going to fall apart. You're scared to death that it's going to end. And when we land on the 9 of Cups, and this is the Make-A-Wish card, this is the feeling, being very emotionally fulfilled. This is, it's a 9. It's almost that completion. This is like very exciting kind of energy. It can be a little prideful or like boastful almost, but it's for a good reason. You're feeling really darn good about stuff with this kind of energy. She's leaping, like leap for joy is what I think of when I see her. And I just kind of want to like kick you in the rear end. And I know you're going to go through this stuff and it's going to be a process, but at least you're aware of it now. And so hopefully it doesn't take you too long to get there, because I'd really like for you to just enjoy the process. Because it looks like it's a beautiful one. These are very straightforward, to the point kind of cards. You didn't get any of those where like, maybe this and maybe that, and I'm not sure how these two things apply to each other. Like, this is a very to the point, straightforward reading of your physical space is good, you're focused on work, you're not these self-limiting thoughts and this fearful end. Like, you're good. You're okay. You're never going to control exactly how it all plays out. You can only control yourself and your perception of what reality is. So why not allow yourself to feel this project too? Or maybe it's not directly related to the project, but you need to feel about something. You need to be emotionally connected to something or someone. And you need, and it may very well be a water sign with all this water. I mean, I think it would have to be an earth sign or a water sign. But I would think. But regardless, it doesn't even matter. It just matters that you have a willingness to emotionally connect. You have a willingness to be authentic. You have a willingness to be kind and understanding. And I mean, if you can think of a love word, it probably applies here. Just coming from a good space within your own heart and caring about yourself may also play heavily into this, especially with being concerned if you're having these kinds of thoughts, then you're probably not loving yourself very well. Because when you really love yourself, you're not so worried about this stuff. You understand that it's important for you to be fulfilled on all levels and not just be in this materialistic kind of world. And you're more likely to go with the flow of things if you aren't stabbing yourself in the brain thinking about all the negative things or all the bad things that could be, might maybe go wrong. I'm going to pull an oracle card for you just to give us a little bit more guidance here. All right. I think I want this one. If I can get it out. Make a decision. And I'm going to look at the book. I'm still relatively new to reading these, and I'm learning while I'm reading them for you. And some of the passages written in the book are really quite beautiful and give a really nice explanation, as they should, of the card. Your sheer determination is highlighted at this time. Your spirit will support your desires and manifestations. The ability to create or destroy has always been within your skill base. You have the wisdom and the confidence needed to use these skills constructively. Now is the time to act. If you know what it is you want to accomplish and why. Since the powers of transformation are at your command, change your desires into objectives, your thoughts into actions, your goals into achievements. If you have recently met with a failure, you know you can change the failure into success. The only limits you have are those you impose on yourself. I done did say that to you. I already told ya. So that's awesome that this confirms some of the stuff we were talking about. This didn't go into any of the emotional stuff other than very simply put, why. And I pause on that word for a minute because why is one of my favorite words and it makes everyone around me crazy. But I like to understand things, and I like very much, as being my Scorpio self, to understand my personal whys and to check in with them often. Why do I feel this way? Why did I have this reaction to this event? Why was my gut instinct to react this way or say this thing, or where are the differences between how my body reacts and what I consciously know? It's just, that's who I am. And Sagittarius, I know that some of you aren't that way, and that's cool. It's fine. But sometimes it's really important to ask, why am I doing this? Because typically it's going to bring in this cup energy of how your feelings connect to it. And that can help progress and help us manifest things into our physical world, because we have a clearer picture of why we even want those things and the emotions that are attached to them. And we're much clearer on what we don't want. So we have that contrast. I don't want that. I know why I want this, and this is what I'm going to have in my life. So for me, I get this information, or I get these cards. I get these cards really, really well, because all of those why questions, if you're not loving yourself through that process and being kind to yourself when you ask yourself those hard questions, and you're trying to, like I said, tell yourself that story about yourself, these can be very limiting. They can be, and it's really hard, and you get stuck in this space in your thoughts, and you can't connect your passion with your heart, or your, I didn't mean to say passion, your tangible world with your heart, and they just don't seem to line up real well. So I'm feeling you this month, Sagittarius. I think you needed a very blatant, to the point reading, and I was just the girl to give it to you because that's kind of how I roll. So make a decision and know why you're making that decision this month. And I'm really excited to hear from you about how this may resonate with you. If you're, a small business owner or something, whatever this is doing, reach out to me. I'd love to support you. I'm a small business owner myself, and I'm just getting a lot of those vibes from this. I get it on so many levels of being so concentrated on what am I bringing into the world? What am I doing that has worth? How is it affecting my physical space? Or even health wise, because as I mentioned, I should have probably brought that up again, but I was so focused on career of, thinking that, you're not going to stick to this diet, you're not going to stick to this workout plan, and everything's going to go wrong, and you're going to gain back weight like you had before. And then it's telling you to freaking love yourself. So regardless of what this is, if you're a small business or you're somebody just on a health kick, and everything in between there in our physical world, I know that's kind of broad, but for real, job, whatever you're putting out into this world, like, love yourself through it. Love the process, love the journey, speak kindly to yourself, make decisions based on the whys and those emotional connections to what you're doing. And I think you're going to have a great month because, I mean, make a wish.